Welcome to RPG Book Club, the podcast where we play a little bit of a video game and talk about how it makes us feel. I'm Sam.
I'm Bernard.
And I'm Trish.
And today we are covering our playthrough of Lufia II. I wrote it.
Sinistrals.
I wrote it so that I wouldn't screw it up, and I still screwed it up. Because I used to screw it up because I would never update the number until the last second, and so I took the number out, but then I said covering instead of continuing. Anywho.
Do you want to restart, or do you want me to leave this in because it's funny?
You can leave it in because it's funny. You can punch it up, cut out a couple of the ums and ahs, but...
Always do.
So today, we are continuing our playthrough of Lufia II, Rise of the Sinistrals, covering up until we complete the Tower of Truth. But before we get to all of that, how was everyone's week?
My eyes are still not perfect, and I'm getting tired of it.
Damn.
The whole point of eyes is to take light, make it into images, but my eyes decided they don't like light. So I'm like, what are you even doing here?
It's being squishy, wet things.
Yeah. Yes. All they can do now is cry. So, yeah, I don't know. I haven't done much this week.
What about you, Trish? Have you done a lot this week?
I suppose. I am not sure if there's any way the viewers at home could tell with some difference in my audio, but I'm back at home. I'm sitting at my desk with my cube of a computer sitting in front of me. I'm glad to be home, but I still miss my girlfriend who was visiting. It was really good getting to spend all that time with her, but now I'm sad that she's not here. I came home as there was a little bit of a crisis in the household. Someone was having a really bad mental health time, but they're doing a bit better now, which is good. I had the most ADHD thing happen yesterday that, like, I'm trying not to beat myself up about, but it's very hard. Where, I did these, like, this... I just spent 2 weeks somewhere else. So I have my suitcase full of clothes, and I was like, oh, I need to wash these. Like, or at least go through the ones I wore and stuff, and wash my clothes. Need to do that. Haven't done that in a bit. Go to do that. Put them in the washer. 7 hours later, as I've tried and failed to go to bed, I'm like, oh shit, I put those in the washer and I never went back down. God damn it. Okay, I'll put them in again because, like, I don't. If I just dry them now, they're not gonna be like, they might get like crinkly or something. Like, I don't know. My brain's just like, I need to wash them again. For some reason. Like, I need to do it right this time. I'll put a timer on my phone for 1 hour, and then I come back up, and within that hour, I fall asleep, and the alarm does not wake me up. So I wake up today, at some point realize, wait a minute! So they're currently in the wash again.
They're gonna be so clean.
They're gonna be so clean.
You can do surgery in those clothes.
The other thing besides that is I celebrated being back yesterday by finally getting back to playing more Persona 4 Golden. Made a lot of good progress. Happy, excited to see where things go from here. Definitely isn't going where I was expecting. But more importantly, I played the entire first episode, or rather the episode 0, of the Game of the Devil, and holy fucking shit, extremely high recommendation for that game. If you enjoy Ace Attorney at all, or Danganronpa at all, more Ace Attorney than Danganronpa, but still, you should play it. If you enjoy cyberpunk and mysteries, play it! It's so goddamn good!
Oh, it is stylish, too.
It is, I think, the way I think of it is it's stylistically very Danganronpa. In terms of game mechanics, much more Ace Attorney. Specifically, taking different things Ace Attorney has played with over the years here and there and making them the central mechanics. Because you play as a defense attorney in a cyberpunk future, and the way she views her job is through gambling, through using poker as a metaphor. And so, because the state, the people she's having to go up against, is the house, and the house always wins. The best you can do is do well enough that you don't lose, and that they cash you out. And so, in an Ace Attorney throughout the series, there's a lot of points where it'll be like, oh, you've asked a question, do you want to press further, or do you want to back off on this? And, like, 95% of the time in Ace Attorney, you want to say press further, because there's no downside, and usually it's the way forward to what you need. But, like, once or twice in the series they've had, oh no, pressing further is a bad thing, and you should have left that alone, and you get penalized for pressing further.
Mhm.
This game makes that one of the essential mechanics where the cops you're arguing with or the prosecutors you're arguing with will raise a point, and you'll be asked whether you want to raise or stay in poker terms. Like, do you want to try to contradict what they just said, or do you want to just let that slide? Because you might not just have the ability to contradict them right now, or like maybe they're bluffing, maybe you could poke a hole in what they're saying, but maybe you can't. And I don't know, it's a really fun mechanic. It's just a really great so far from the prologue. It's a really well made game, and also just the protagonist is fantastic. I don't want to spoil why, but this game rocks. It fucking rules, and I can't wait to play episode 1. I will say, unfortunately, it's one of those games where it is updating like episode by episode. They're planning for there to be 5 episodes total. Only 0 and 1 are out right now, and they're planning to come out like 2 a year or so. So it'll be a bit before the game's complete. I am fine just playing through and seeing what's here and waiting for the next one. But I know some people, Bernard, are not.
I might go ahead and play the prologue because it sounds so cool, and
You should. The prologue's not very long.
Yeah, and the developers have said that each one is going to be a self-contained story, but you can also say that about Ace Attorney, and
yeah,
there's still, you want to remember what's going on in Ace Attorney, but we'll see. Maybe
Also,
I'll play the prologue and decide I have to play chapter 1 immediately.
Also, you got that homoerotic tension between defense attorney and prosecutor, except now they're ladies.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
And you're honestly kind of playing as the Edgeworth of the two of them.
Nice.
You're playing as the perfectionist. But anyway, all that aside, how's your week been, Sam?
So as recently discussed, I am moving into my bachelor pad in 50-something days. And as part of that, I made a big Amazon wish list for my divorce registry, and then I also had a big IKEA cart of all the things that I would need to get a new place. And then I found this iPhone app called Freebie Alerts, and what Freebie Alerts does is it auto searches Nextdoor, OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, etc. for when people post something free. So you can put in what you're looking for, like table, bed frame, etc. And then it'll give you a push notification when one shows up for free, so you can go in and snipe it and pick it up. And through that, I have a media console, a bed, a dining table, and chairs. And so now I have almost everything that I need, and it rules because it pulls the exact thing, so you can see if it's worth it or not. You're not just getting people's garbage. You're getting stuff like, oh hey, this didn't fit in my car, and I have to move today, sort of shit. And that's where I got a bunch of good pieces yesterday. So I am very close to having everything I need, so then I can just buy like stupid nerdy shit for my house, and that'll be real exciting. The other thing that I've done is my partner's birthday is tomorrow, on May the 4th be with you. And I was making them this won't come out until after, so I can spoil it. I've been making them a Beatrice the Golden Witch cross stitch, and I was supposed to get it done by Christmas, but there was no chance in hell that I would do it. And so they were like, oh, well, you can just push it back. You'll have plenty of time. Do it for my birthday. But ADHD said, oh, so that's Future Sam's problem. Surprise, it's me. I'm Future Sam. So all week I have just been listening to The Expanse and cross-stitching like a madman. And the piece is coming out really good. But yeah, I didn't do much else. Including, I did not play Lufia II. I have decided that I have a lot of irons in the fire right now, so I'm kicking back and doing just reading the Let's Play on LP Archive to get my way through it. So,
That is. I mean, I can't say anything against that, considering how many times I've had to do that for games. So you're valid.
Yeah.
You're not valid.
Okay. Yeah,
You're saying that the first parts of his argument don't necessarily, if true, mean that the conclusion of his argument are true? He's invalid?
Yes.
okay. Anyways, that was supposed to be a segue to talk about Lufia II, so let's do that.
We've just heard the news that the village of Agurio was destroyed, presumably by Aemon, so we head that way immediately. We find the town in ruins and littered with corpses. We also find Iris, who is not a corpse. She says it was already too late when she arrived, though even if she had arrived in time, she couldn't have stopped Aemon. Maxim laments having not been able to defeat Aemon himself back in the tower. Iris says Maxim has fought enough. He should put aside his sword and live a peaceful life. He does not have the strength to defeat Aemon. Maxim says he can't do that. He can't forgive Aemon for what he's done, and he's gotta try and have the power of friendship and stuff. Iris starts talking about Maxim's energy, because of course she does. She says the key to defeating a Sinistral is energy. Maxim asks her to explain. It's only taken almost 2 whole games, but someone's finally asked for an explanation of something related to energy. Iris says Sinistrals are pure energy in a physical body. To defeat them, you must destroy their energy. Maxim's energy isn't strong enough, but there is a sword that magnifies energy waves. The Dual Blade. It resonates with the energy waves of its wielder, intensifying his power. Iris doesn't know where to find the Dual Blade or even if it exists, but Maxim says just knowing it might exist fills him with determination. Iris asks the party to help her lay the townsfolk to rest. Maxim says he will pursue Aemon and the Dual Blade. So after she says that she saw a ball of light fly south as she arrived, and that might have been Aemon. She makes to leave, and Maxim asks her if she'll ever tell him who she really is. She says the time will come, but thinks to herself, although I don't know if you'll know it's me when I show you my true self. Iris departs. I kind of wish we'd stopped here last week, since the scene in Agurio is fairly short and pretty dramatic and sets up the next part of our quest, but I didn't play any farther than where we stopped last week, so I didn't know.
Yeah. I wonder how many times on this podcast we've done the thing where, like, all right, we're going to stop when getting to blah, blah, blah. And then the first cutscene after is like, oh, well, the end of the episode was 5 minutes later.
Yeah. With the vague direction to head south, we head south and arrive in the town of Treble. Weirdly, the townsfolk are all standing together right in the entrance of town when we arrive. They talk about a ball of light diving into the water to the southeast. Sounds like we might need a way to get underwater. They also talk about an inventor who is working on a ship that can go underwater. Hey, that's convenient. We find our way to the city of Portravia, I don't know. There's a laboratory here, but the townsfolk say it's polluting the ocean. Oh well, I'm sure that's fine. We head to the lab and meet Kirmo, a friend of Lexus and another kooky inventor. Lexus asks about the submarine design. It's complete, but no ship can withstand it. No ship, Lexus says, except Excellion. Huzzah! Kirmo says he'll remodel it into a submarine, but a child pops out of hiding, swipes the submarine plans, and runs off. We've got to get them back! Also, the child appeared to be an elf, which is weird because elves rarely go to human settlements. If we ask around, we hear about an elf village on the other side of the nearby Mountain of No Return, so we decide to head there to look for the child. I'm like, what's the worst that could happen in a place called the Mountain of No Return?
We'll be fine.
I mean, we are fine, but
Yeah,
it just seems like a bad idea to just go there without knowing why it's called that.
true.
It's a mountain that has a store that doesn't accept any returned merchandise.
The gift
No.
shop is shitty. After a bunch of puzzles, which I personally found annoying, we find the elf child. But a bunch of monsters appear and surround her. Oh no! We kill the monsters, but the child is not grateful, because she hates humans. But an elf named Artea warps in and chastises her for being mean to the people who just saved her, and for stealing the plans. Turns out she stole the plans because she wanted to hinder the lab's pollution. So this little kid is a junior eco-terrorist. Cool!
Yeah.
Also, her name is Milka. Artea says stealing is wrong no matter what. Milka gives back the plans, and Lexus says that in return he'll go to the lab right away and make sure they stop polluting. It's actually a pretty sweet scene.
Mm-hmm.
Lexus heads off, and immediately 2 more elves warp in and say a ball of light with a, quote, gigundo, unquote, evil energy flow appeared above the village. The only dictionary entry I could find for gigundo was in Wiktionary, but that's one more dictionary entry than I expected to find. Maxim says it must be Aemon. He says the elves must return to the village immediately, and the party will go with them. Artea is hesitant to bring humans to the village, but recognizes they'll need the help. He warps them to the elf village. An elf woman runs up and says the ball of light took Milka's mother, Karen, away, and flew towards the divine shrine, which can boost the power inside or something. Only Karen, with her special energy, can open the door to the power-boosting chamber.
She's also really good at talking to managers.
Yes.
That's why we need her at the Mountain of No Return.
Yeah.
Artea says he'll go to the shrine to save Karen and stop Aemon from claiming that power. Maxim insists on helping, and Artea agrees to bring them along. Artea has joined the party! Finally, the 4 legendary heroes have assembled!
Huzzah?
Yes. We head to the shrine and work through some pretty good puzzles. We find Aemon and Karen standing in front of the door to the innermost chamber. Aemon demands that Karen open the door, but she says she would never open it for someone with a wicked heart like Aemon. She says she let him kidnap her so that he would not harm anyone else, and because here in the shrine she can use her vague energy powers to the fullest. She says she doesn't know if she can defeat Aemon, but he will not escape unscathed. Artea interrupts, saying if she unleashes her full power, she'll fucking die. Aemon is not happy to see the party again, and starts doing energy stuff. But Karen starts doing energy stuff too. She blasts Aemon, and he's warped away. Artea runs to Karen, who tells him to defeat Aemon and look after Milka for her. And then she dies. Artea tells the party that he must fight that terrible evil and asks to join the party officially. We say yes. Artea has joined the party officially. We head back to the village and break the news to Milka. We also hear from the townsfolk that the ball of light went back into the sea. We head back to Portravia and find that Kirmo and Lexus have finished upgrading the Excellion. Lexus says people saw the ball of light head west towards the town of Barnen, so we hop in the Excellion and head that way. And Lexus doesn't come with us. I don't know if he's still working on making the lab not pollute, or if he's just like, you got 4 people, you're good.
I know your party size limit.
Yeah.
He's like, I wasn't in the opening as one of the heroes last game, so y'all don't need me.
Yeah. Y'all are actually going to fight Sinistrals now? I don't know if I want to be there for that.
Listen, I'm the support.
Now that we have a submarine, we can also find plenty of secrets, such as the final capsule monster, if we feel like searching around.
I did. I now have every capsule monster either at their highest level or at the one before their highest level. I just need the fruits to get the full collection. I need to tell you, this water one, I'm going to talk about it in Mem Moms, because some of these form changes are ridiculous.
Nice. When we go to Barnen, we hear about a ball of light going to the Shrine of Vengeance to the south. If I recall correctly, they also mentioned some great evil force emanating from the shrine or something. But at this point, the person in the long play I'm watching has stopped talking to people very much and also has started going to places in the wrong order and just generally having a rough time of it because they're not talking to people very much. Anyway, we go to the Shrine of Vengeance. The main entrance is destroyed, so we have to use our submarine to go underwater and enter from below. And I like the puzzles here a lot. You have to use lots of bombs, and that's always fun.
Agreed.
In the depths of the shrine, we see a ghost. Oh no! It's a being of pure energy and hatred. Some power has drawn it into this world. And I'm like, okay. It attacks. We fight it and win, but it does not disappear. Artea says some sort of incantation to put it to rest or something. I don't know. But our task is complete, but if we go one room further into the dungeon, we can find the cursed bow. If we equip this on Artea to curse him, then have a priest uncurse him, the bow turns into Artea's bow, which we remember from the first game. It's strong and hits all enemies at once.
Hell yeah.
We head back to Barnon and find Iris waiting for us, or in the long play I'm watching, go to several other towns before returning to Barnon. They're having a rough time of it at this point. But Iris says she wants to ask Maxim about something alone. Salon gets really upset and jealous at the prospect of Maxim speaking with Iris alone, which is surely a sign of a healthy relationship.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna... Everyone in this fucking game...
Iris is like, wow, sounds like the bond between you two is weak. If you want to prove your love for each other, why don't y'all go to the Tower of Truth by the city of Dural? There, you will see the truth. Iris leaves. By talking to the people in Dural, we can put together that the Tower of Truth has a mirror at the top, which shows the loved one that's truly in your heart or something. It's weird that Iris didn't actually explain that when she told us to go there. She was just like, hey, go look in this mirror, and didn't really say why. But we go to the Tower of Truth and do a bunch of puzzles, some of which completely baffled me.
Mm-hmm.
At the top of the tower, we find Iris waiting outside the chamber containing the Mirror of Truth. She asks Maxim and Salon if they really love each other. Salon's like, yeah, we totally do. Maxim's like, let's just go in the chamber. And I'm like, that's weird. So Maxim and Salon enter the mirror chamber. Artea asks Iris what her deal is. She says she's seeking the truth. It is her mission to know the truth. Maxim and Salon stand at the entrance to the room in front of the mirror, but at a distance, and apparently the mirror only works when you're close to it or something, because Maxim and Salon are like, hey, let's not actually look in the mirror because we trust each other and stuff. Even though from where they stand, they should totally be able to see themselves in the mirror, and I don't get what's going on here.
I mean, same. I found it very odd.
But anyway, Iris and the others rush in and say monsters are approaching. Maxim and Salon back up to get into battle position, and we can see the reflections in the mirror now, even though they aren't looking. After killing the monsters dead, the party finds that Iris has disappeared, like she does, and the mirror got broken in the fight. Everyone's like, classic Iris! Salon says they should go back to the village, and she and Maxim exit. Somehow that mundane one-sentence interaction is enough for Guy to say they seem closer than before. And Artea says that they always felt that way for each other. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Maybe they were holding hands and we couldn't see because they're sprites. Guy and Artea follow the others out of the room. But the camera does not follow them. Iris appears in the empty mirror chamber. She says her mission has ended, and she magics the mirror back together. When the mirror is whole, we see an unfamiliar figure staring back at Iris. Iris thinks to herself, there's no stopping. Only when one of them is no more can the answer be known. Isn't that right, Sir Auric? Gasp! That's the guy from the Attract mode, the leader of the Sinistrals. He appeared in the Attract mode and hasn't been referenced since. And we might not have even seen the Attract mode if we didn't know we were supposed to watch it. Despite all this, we remember who Auric is and are shocked by this turn of events.
Indeed, and I feel like someone should answer that phone because I called it.
So that's where we're stopping for this week. Next week we might beat the game. Not sure. Looking at the number of sections in the walkthrough, it looks like we could beat it next week, but also I get a feeling it might get a lot more plot dense because there's still a lot of unanswered questions and a lot of stuff to wrap up, I feel like.
But it is also a Super Nintendo JRPG in English, so that they might not have a lot of space to get plot dense and just blast through these cutscenes.
Yeah, and also, I don't know. It is also a Lufia game. It might not. They might just sort of be like, and then the Sinistrals, and then you get the Dual Blade, and then the Sinistrals appear, and then the Dual Blade resonates with energy, and you win.
They could.
Or it could just roll credits and be like, if you want to see what happens next, go play Lufia 1.
Anyway, let's go to memorable moments.
Okay, to start with, like I said, so that water capsule monster, like all of these capsule monsters, as you evolve their forms, it's like, you know, they're kind of basically switching to different enemies you fought usually. Like the second form, I think, for the water one, it turns into like frog with a spear. We fought those. Those exist. They can be a little annoying, but you get better and better, and like the forms are supposed to progress in how cool they are. And the fourth form, which is the best one until you give it the right fruit from somewhere in the game that'll turn into its ultimate whatever level. Its fourth form is of a thunder god, and I'm like, wow, how are they going to top it? I don't know. It's I'm really curious to see. The answer is its last form is it's a little half fish, half man guy who's the top half is fish and the bottom half is man and his little butt's hanging out. You go from a thunder god to this.
He's beautiful. He's perfect.
That's
is
wonderful.
So powerful though. He's really good.
That is
I
wonderful.
have to share that because it is so funny. Because again, I'm gonna compare this to some of the others. Like you get your little bubbly you know, your what's it called? Your Fumi all the way leveled up. It turns into like a kitsune. It turns into this nine-tailed fox little thing. That's cool.
Yeah.
You get your fire one all the way leveled up. You get a phoenix. That's cool. You get the water one leveled up. Oh, screw being a god. I'm gonna be a little
freak.
ass out. Yeah.
There is a puzzle this week where you walk into a room and there are two rugs on the floor, and one of them has like little wrinkle graphics on it, and there's one of those signs that gives you a hint, and it just says something like a not wrinkled rug would suit this room better or something. And all you do is you take a block and you just push it across the rug to
and
iron
it smooths it out.
And then the door opens. That's it.
I love that one so much. It's delightful. Also, we mentioned briefly there's I can't remember the name of the dungeon, but the one that's all temple-y looking, and there's that area where it's a bunch of like there's a higher level and a lower level in the room, and you're getting around by hook shotting on the high level to all these different pillars. It's so well done. It's really fascinating.
Yeah, I loved that room. It was really difficult, but it was really cool.
Yeah, it was like there were points where I was almost frustrated, being like, "Oh, well, I got to go back and start this again." But it was mollified by being like, "Okay, but this is rocks. Like, I'm down for this." My other mem was there was that angry ghost boss. So the guide I was looking at was like, "Hey, so you know, be careful. This guy has some like hit everybody insta kill attacks. I've lost 3 members of the party in one round to this guy. He's very dangerous." But of course, like all Lufia bosses, what moves they use when is completely random. And he never used that move on me. Instead, more than half of his turns, he used a move that does nothing.
Yeah.
It's just like a, I'm angry, and I'm gonna sit here and wait and stare at you. And it's like, okay, thanks for letting me just wail on you, dude. I love how bosses in this game can be like that.
Mm-hmm. I like that we finally have Artea.
Agreed.
And I like
for
that
Elfie
we get
boy.
Artea's bow, and it rules.
Mm-hmm. It's a fairly strong attack that hits everybody.
Yeah. I don't remember what its IP move is.
Mm,
Um,
I
yeah, I don't
don't
remember.
either.
We're getting some good IP moves now. Like,
Yeah.
you can do a really strong fire attack that hits everyone, or a really strong water attack that hits everyone. It takes, like, the full bar, but you can
But
do
they're
some good shit.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looking through the LP, there's the ghost clothes. You can find this one that is a revive all plus heal everybody for 50,
Yep.
which is insane.
Yes. You just have to hope the one wearing that is the one
Alive.
who didn't die.
Yeah.
And also that they have enough juice stored up.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta have the juice.
But if you're in that situation, exactly, real good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I like this game.
Yeah, this game is so good that I have cheat codes in to trivialize all the fights, and I still want, even though I'm not playing it now, I want to finish the game because I want to do all these dungeons. These dungeons are the best JRPG dungeons, and I don't think it's that close.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
I like how Lufia 1 and Lufia 2 both have great dungeons, but they're great in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've seen people talk about Lufia 2 as if it's like one of the absolute great masterpiece JRPGs on the Super Nintendo, and I don't know if I'd say that. I don't know if it's S tier, but it's definitely A tier.
I think it's the best bog standard JRPG that I've ever done. I don't think it does anything to put it into A tier, but I think it's probably the absolute, or it's not to put it into S tier, but I think it's like at the top of A tier. I think it does everything very solidly, and the dungeons rule.
Yeah.
But like the plot line is there's 4 bad guys, and we got to catch all the bad guys so that we can kill the bad guys.
There
Yeah.
is something good to playing a game that is very small in scope of ambition of like what it's trying to really do, but it does that exceptionally well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's really good. I really like it. I'm really glad I'm playing it, but ultimately I think it's just not quite an Earthbound or a Chrono Trigger or a Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But it does rule. One other thing that made me giggle while I was following along in the LP is one of the puzzles in one of the things. In all of the dungeons, there are plaques on the wall that give you hints, like the aforementioned "iron out my carpet, please." But one of them just says "shoot arrows," and it just makes me giggle. It's like, yeah, don't forget you have a bow. Probably haven't been using it because you got a fucking hammer on a hook shot.
I don't remember that.
I think that one is for the one where there's a platform and you hit the thing with your. I think that's what, or that might have been from something last week.
No, it's right here. It's
Okay.
Right before the ghosty, I believe.
Oh, right for the ghosty. Before we giggle at the ghosty.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, I showed Scarlett My Little Pony this week, and she loves it.
Oh yay!
She had watched it a lot as a child, but memories don't start working until you're around her age, so she had no idea anything about it, which was awesome. So that will do it for the week. If you like what you heard today, you can head on over to www.rpgbook.club, where you can donate to help support us. If you do, you'll get some extra benefits. At $1 a month, the Gadabout tier gets access to our bonus feed, where we have after shows for every episode, as well as bonus seasons of the show that are backer only. At $5 a month, the Warrior tier gets the above, but I also say their names at the end of every episode, a little like this. Shouts to Frosthair, Dragonslayer19, Kale Dranas, Freddy Rodriguez, Aaron524, and Jfro Prime. And then at $20 a month, the Luminary tier gets all of the above, plus a 1-sentence shout out to whatever it is they're passionate about. Shoutouts to El Tantifi, who wants you to check out Aftermath.site, a worker-owned, reader-supported news site covering video games, the internet, and the cultures that surround them. Shoutouts to Vimke, who says, "Suddenly, the unchanging tedium of a ninth morning changed." And shoutouts to It's Claire Time, who says, "For you TTRPG nerds, check out Fabula Ultima. I'm not affiliated with the game, I just think it's neat." For RPG Book Club, I've been Sam.
Did you talk about the next vote?
Oh, I forgot to do that. I scrolled right past it in my notes. Yeah, so we are potentially beating it next week or in 2 weeks. So we are opening up the polls for our next game, and because this one was a mini long cast, we are doing a maxi shortcast, and we will be covering either Panzer Dragoon Saga or Drakengard 1. So if you want us to fly a dragon, you're in luck. We got 2 different dragon flying games. So head on over to the Ko-Fi, where we will have the link to the form. Everyone fill out the form and pick what we're playing next.
And I'm Bernard.
And I'm Trish.
Remember right before we started, I was like, let me write out all these things so I don't screw up, and then I screwed up anyways.
Yeah.
Twice. Yeah. Toodaloo, folks.
Bye-bye.